So you're thinking about moving to Vancouver, Washington, and are wondering if the suburb of Philida is the place to live here on the west side of Vancouver? If so, then you'll want to stay tuned, because in this video I'm going to tell you why so many people are choosing the west side suburb of Philida to live. And I'm going to show you some of the communities. I'm going to be showing you some of the restaurants and different things that you're going to encounter if you were to choose the suburb of Philida. So stay tuned, because we're going to get right after it right now. I have you in the Philida Community Park right now, and this is a phenomenal park that's one of many that you're going to find over here in the suburb of Philida. Now, some things to know about Philida is that we have a population of around 10,389 people, and the median value, home value, is around $716,000. Yeah. With an average sales price of around $674,000. And if you were looking to rent, well, rents are around $3,277 according to some of the sources out there. Now, you are only about 5 to 10 minutes away from some of the major shopping, and of course only 15, not even 15 minutes away from the I-5 bridge. Very ideal location here on the west side of Vancouver, Washington. And so this is just one of the parks. I'm going to take you into 3 different subdivisions. I'm going to show you some entry-level subdivision as well as 2 other subdivisions. But there's not a lot of entry-level homes that you can find here in the area of Philida. Now, just a fun fact that you might want to know is that Philida originally was proposed to be called Powley, but there was a dispute between the postmaster and the post office. The land was donated by Powley, and unfortunately, post office didn't agree on the name. They came back with the name Polly, and of course the postmaster is like, that sounds like a bird. And so what happens? He cracks a joke and sends in a proposal. Well, if you're going to name it after a bird, why don't you just name it after my cat? So it went back and forth. But he, in that suggestive, he put down to name after his cat, known as the Latin word Philidie. And the post office actually came back saying, okay, yeah, we'll name it Philidie, but actually we'll change it a little bit and call it Philida. And so, lo and behold, Philida is after the Latin word that means big cat. So if you live in Philida, well, you live in an area known as the Big Cat. So anyway, that's just one of the fun facts here about the suburb of Philida. But thank you for joining me. And so let's get going and take a look at some of the things that you're going to see in the communities and some of the little shops and restaurants that you'll find over here on the west side. So let's get right at it. Okay, we're at our first community in the suburb of Philida, and this community is known as Philida View, and the homes in here were built in between 2000 to around 2002, and it's just a little pocket of homes, but it is a great entry-level price point coming into Philida, because in the Philida suburb, the average price point here is around $719,000. And so to be able to find an entry-level home is a very big deal. And so in Philida View, we actually have homes that are available. And this little gem right here actually came onto the market at $495,000, which is about $249 a square foot. And it offers 1986 square feet, and it has 3 bedrooms and 2.5 bathrooms. Now you're going to notice that in this community specifically that the homes are really nestled up one to another, and so you'll see that on average the homes are around about 4 to 5 feet apart. on the sides one from another. But again, it is a great way to get into entry-level home ownership here in the suburb of Philida. And being over on the west side, next to the Salmon Creek Trails, next to Vancouver Lake, and some of the other great amenities over here in Philida is going to be such a benefit to a lot of homeowners that want to be on the west side of Vancouver, Washington. So this is the first community known as Philida View, and you're going to see that it's just one street that goes down, and then it just normally has just a couple inlet roads like the one that the listing that I came off of is from. And usually there's about 8 homes on that little nub, as I call it. Sometimes they're going to be called circles, sometimes they are going to be called courts. But in this subdivision, there are a few of them, even though it is a smaller subdivision here in this direct community. Now, a plus to this community is that it is literally right across the street from Jefferson Middle School, which is a highly rated middle school here over on the west side of Vancouver, Washington. The homes in here are very well kept. They do have an HOA, which is around $50 a month for the HOA, which normally will cover just some of the street lights and things like that for it. But overall, here is the community as a whole. And this is Philida View, and it is just one of the great communities that we're going to be looking at today as we continue on in our vlog of everything suburb of Philida. Thanks. Let's go on. Here we are in our second community known as Teal Point Ridge. And as you can tell by some of the homes in this community, we are not in the entry-level subdivision any longer. We are actually in a very well-established and affluent neighborhood known as Teal Point Ridge. And in this community, the homes are going to be well above $800,000. And with that being said, it's because it offers a lot within this community of the beautiful, well-kept streets, manicured walkways, and having it be right next to the Salmon Creek walking trail, which happens to be my absolute favorite place to walk. And of course, you're right next to the, like I said before, the Vancouver Lake. The home that we're looking at today is a phenomenal price because it's actually listed at $925,000. But it offers over 3749 square feet, which is about $247 a square foot. And it is this home right here. This stunning home actually gives you some mountain views and, of course, some territorial views, and offers 4 bedrooms, a bonus room, an office, and 3 bathrooms, all for the list price, again, of $925,000 within the community of Teal Point Ridge. And so this is just one of the communities. You can see that they started putting in just some smaller closer knit homes, because as you guys well know, when land becomes scarce, the builders do have to try to make the most out of their money and begin to kind of make them a little cozier. So that's exactly what they're beginning to do. There is one subdivision coming into this community, but again, they're still going to be over 800,000. Some of them way above over $1 million. And so, but I hope you enjoyed the drone, because you can see in the drone footage that I did of this community that it is absolutely stunning. And some of these homes will offer that view to you. And so I hope that you enjoyed Teal Point Ridge. And now I'm going to take you on to the very well-known and sought-after community known as Ashley Heights. So let's get going. We're at the final community of our vlog tour for Philida. And we are in the most sought after community in the Felida area, which is known as Ashley Heights. And why? Well, look around. It's because of the stunning custom homes that you will find in this community. And this community has exactly around 274 different custom homes, all uniquely different. So you're not going to find the cookie cutter homes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful architectural design. And no wonder people want to live in Ashley Heights. So like I was saying, this community has over 274 custom homes that is comprised of Ashley Heights. And it has both gated and non-gated communities within this huge, large community. And it actually has about 20 acres of private parks and open spaces. And I hope you could see from the drone footage that I did when I went up. I tried to show some of the parks and areas as I flew through the community, so you can kind of get a true feel of what Ashley Heights has to offer. Now, the community itself, the homes in here, they were built between the ages of around 1995 and 2003 built. So it has both an old and, and somewhat new. Well, 2003 I guess isn't somewhat new, but like I said, this home in this community, you're not going to find all the homes looking the same. And so this community as a whole also has its own little private gazebo that you can go to and take your dogs to, and like I said, it has tons of beautiful parks and trails and walkways so that you can walk your animals or take those nighttime walks, and you don't have to worry about being squished on the side of the road and having cars scream past. So everything in this community has wide streets, and that's really ideal because, as you can see right here, when you have lots of guests coming to visit you, you want to make sure that there's space on both sides so that you can actually be able to park and still be able to get through the road itself. Now, the home that's available here in this community is built in 1997, and it has a 3-car garage. And yes, I'm going to show you the home. I'm going to spin around here. My little legs don't walk that fast these days. And it is, I'm going to spin around slowly. Right here, this cute gem. This cute little ranch home is listed for $899,900. It's built in 1997, and it's 3646 square feet, which is about $247 a square foot. And it gives you 4 bedrooms plus a den, 3.5 bathrooms. Now, it has 3 of those bedrooms on the main level, and then on the lower level as a daylight, it's called a daylight ranch. On the lower level, it has a family room and a bedroom as well. So this little home right here, $899,900, $247 a square foot. Giving you 3646 square feet. And so this is just one of the gems. They go really fast when they get listed in this community. So certainly reach out if you do have interest in this home. But this actually concludes our tour for today. And so welcome to Ashley Heights. And thank you for tuning in to my channel. And until next time, have a great home buying and selling